Hey, you know what I haven't done in a long time? A horror game review. JK, that's like all I do on here, isn't it? But really, not counting all the top 10s I did in Resident Evil month, and the artsy RPG maker stuff like Eve, it's been a pretty long time since I've covered a real modern horror game. Like Spooky's House of Jump Scares, that was probably the last one I did. God, I'm slow. Blah. But shit, I guess I just have too much stuff on my to-do list. All the time. So much stuff. No rest.
I mean, I do live in a basement. I have quite a life. What else am I gonna do?
Today, I'm gonna be showing you a horror game called MONSTRUM. Yes, MONSTRUM. A name which implies there are monsters in it. Unbelievably clever. So in MONSTRUM, you wake up inside a big grimy cargo ship, completely abandoned and floating dead in the middle of the ocean. At first, you seem to be alone on the ship, but as you start to walk around, you hear strange noises coming from the other rooms. As you explore, you find notes and diary entries on the ground that seem to indicate everyone who used to be on the ship has either died or abandoned it while you were unconscious. First off, I have to say, I like the way the notes are done in this game. It's cool how your character just holds the notes up in front of his face. And the neat thing is, you can't actually even read the notes unless you hold them in the light. It's very immersive and realistic. Unlike, well, the way it's done in just about every other horror game. Oh look, a note! I think I'll hold this right in front of my face in real time so that I can't see anything in front of me. Good God, I love having invisible limbs. Anyway, from here, you make your way through the ship and wander out onto the upper deck. And still, there's no one around in sight. That is, until... Oh God, monsters! Monsters, everyone! Monsters in MONSTRUM. MONSTRUM is monsters. Who'd have known? Oh, look at this guy! He's adorable! I think I'll call him Mr. Spookleface.
Mr. Spookleface killed me.
Yeah, not long after wandering around, you'll find there are horrible monsters lurking around with you on the ship. And believe it or not, they can appear anywhere. If a monster sees you, you might have a bit of time to run away and hide. But if a monster gets you, you die. Permanently. So believe it or not, MONSTRUM is actually a roguelike. Every time you die, you have to start the game over. And every time you start the game over, the ship will be different. And the monsters spawn in different places. There are 3 monsters total. There's a long, white, skinny, slimy one that lays eggs and travels through air vents. There's a dark purple floating ghost one that kills you only with the power of its mind. And there's Mr. Spookleface. Now, I imagine so far, this game seems pretty cool, right? It looks scary, it looks interesting, and it looks fun. And I would continue talking about it and complimenting it from here on out, but unfortunately, just like the last game we talked about on here, this is where it all goes downhill. See, the problem with MONSTRUM is, there's nothing else to it. Like, literally, everything I've already talked about is everything I can possibly talk about. I've already told you everything I can about the game, and that's all there is. Well, okay, I guess I didn't tell you everything about the game yet. There is a goal to the game, of course. The goal of the game is simply to escape the ship, and there are 3 different ways you can do this. You can either A, escape through a helicopter at the top of the ship, B, escape with a life raft on the side of the ship, or C, escape by a submarine at the bottom. All these things need parts that you have to find before you can escape, so what you have to do is walk around exploring the ship, looking for key items and running away from monsters. But then, that's really all there is to it. You walk around the boat, and you hide from monsters. And it's a little different every time. That's it. That's MONSTRUM in its entirety. Once you escape, the game is over. The end. There's nothing more to the story, nothing more to the monsters, and there's not even much of an ending cutscene. So truly, I ask, what else can I say?
Yeah, you know, I heard this game was originally released in early access on Steam, and it doesn't ever really feel like it left early access on Steam.
You know, maybe this is becoming a bit of a problem. I mean, if a game starts in early access, and everyone can play it, and people like it because it seems to look promising, maybe the developer will become too satisfied with it too quickly. See, the issue with MONSTRUM is, it feels like it's missing something. and I don't even know what. I like its monsters, and like I've said before, I love horror games that give us new unique monsters, but it seems to be lacking something else. I don't know, if the game had a dark, interesting story to tell, I could say it was worth playing. But it doesn't. And if the game had something creepy and sinister hiding under its skin, even that would be enough. But it doesn't. As it stands, this game is just another Amnesia clone, where you run away from monsters and hide from monsters. And in my book, I'm sorry, but that's not enough. There are just way too many games like this. There's Amnesia, there's Outlast, there's Containment Breach, there's Slender, there's Alien, there's Doorways, there's Daylight. Just too many. They're getting so similar. So if another game's gonna come along, and it's gonna play exactly the same way as all these other exactly the same games, at this point, it's gonna need something really unique about it. Something noteworthy that'll make it stand out from the rest. And sadly, MONSTRUM doesn't have that. There's no depth to MONSTRUM, no personality. And if a game wants to be memorable, it's gonna need a personality. I mean, hell, even Five Nights at Freddy's had a personality. Don't get me wrong, I'm sick of Five Nights at Freddy's, and I'm sick of its incessant amount of repetitive bloody sequels. But you know what? I still remember it. I have a reason to remember it, because when it first came out, something about it felt unique. And when I first played it, it did creep me out. MONSTRUM, unfortunately, does not creep me out. I don't know why. If MONSTRUM looks like your cup of tea, do go ahead and check it out. Unlike me, a lot of people on Steam really like this game. Like, a lot. So you might like it too. But personally, as it is, I just think it's okay. Sorry, I'll do something cooler next time.